Hmm. Okay, welcome guys, and thanks for joining us for this week's episode of The Script is Better, where we are talking about Diablo Cody's Jennifer's Body.
Yeah, Jennifer's Body. Cool.
A horror flick, our first horror flick.
Yeah, I'm excited. I enjoy the horror genre, even though I don't watch a lot of horror movies.
You enjoy, okay, so yeah, let's talk about that. You enjoy the horror genre. Why don't you watch a lot of horror movies then?
I like to sleep at night.
Fair.
I value my resting time, so I generally don't like to watch things that will keep me up at night. And not even like realistic horror, even like I'm not I like zombies aren't realistic, but I'm talking like that horror with that Kevin Smith made about the seal turning a guy into a seal.
Yeah,
like that
just cannot watch that.
I would never watch that. I like saw an image from it and I like that was enough. I'm not going near that.
Yeah. Because they actually turned Justin Long into a walrus.
Yeah, let's not talk about it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's too much. Yeah, no, I'm exactly the same way. Stuff like that makes me feel disgusting. I get too squeamish. I saw a horror movie the other day in theaters, which is actually really good, and you probably will like it. It's called Ready or Not, and it's very similar to Cabin in the Woods, and it's like horror comedy stuff, and the ending is phenomenal and
really
great.
I didn't like the ending.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm glad it was real.
That one also had Seth.
It did have Seth.
Yeah, he's in everything. I don't even know the guy's name.
Adam Brody.
Adam Brody, yeah. It had Adam
But
Brody.
Adam Brody's not in Jennifer's Body.
He is.
Okay, I haven't seen it, but who would he be? What character would he be?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the bad boy rocker who does this
Nikolai.
to Jennifer.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I guess now after the OC, he's just like a horror guy.
Well, that's two. Okay, he was in Scream 4.
Yes. Cool. He's that guy that you're like, oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There
You
you
once
are.
hung upside down like the Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Jennifer's Body. How'd you feel about the script? First read, what'd you like? What'd you didn't like? Did you like it?
Did I like the script? I loved the script, Mac. This was a phenomenal script. The character, like not only the actual characters, but just the writing had its own style and it like dripping from every line and every page, and it was just fun and I enjoyed every part of it. And I like to the point where I would be doing other things and I would remember part from the movie and be like, where did I see that? And oh no, I read that in the script.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you?
Yes, echo your sentiment completely. Like it was so much fun. It's just so much fun. The language that she uses, she just makes up words, and they're words that you've never heard before, but they just make complete sense. And like within the context of the script and the people saying them, you're like, yeah, for sure, that would be a word. And I just kept like noting all of those things. There was like laughs on every page.
Mm-hmm.
I just loved it. It flowed so easily. Like it all happened so fast, so smoothly. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh, okay, I have to read all of her other scripts because this is a lesson in screenwriting for sure.
Nice. Yeah. I think her writing with the making up words and stuff reminded me of Joss Whedon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because he had very much that language that would be just his own distinct language that characters would just say things and be like, that makes perfect sense, but I wouldn't have thought of that word.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like lesbian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive into it. Do you have any specifics that you were really want to expand on?
I guess like I'll start just with the character of Needy. I think this is just again from the writing. Needy is instantly likable. From the God's eye she's making to her voiceover, you just like her character. I like that she goes from being meek to fierce in just 2 seconds in the opening scene where she's like eating food and she's eating a Pop-Tart and one of the nurses or whoever comes over and tries to encourage her to eat other food and she just kicks the woman in the face.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, lady, just do your thing. And then, I think that just the relationship between Jennifer and Needy was just really well done. I mean, you definitely see this in other shows, this kind of more popular girl who has the less popular friend, but you can definitely feel there's like genuine love between, like, not only on Needy's side, who in a typical movie or TV show would have the love for the popular girl and be like, I've got to be around this person and I like this person, but they're not showing affection to me. I think Jennifer actually shows affection for her, even though she does take advantage of Needy as well. she does love this person and want her to be around her. And so that was a great relationship.
Okay. How do you feel about the lesbian undertones of it?
How do I feel about the lesbian undertones of it? I mean, even just to call it undertones, I don't know. I don't know if I would call it undertones. I thought like it was pretty, but yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about it. I'm just great. It went on. It happened. Great.
Right. So the thing that I was thinking about their relationship was that there were kind of undertones, and I just wish it was stronger or addressed. Like they called each other gay and lesbian and said things that were insinuating that there would be like a more than friendship between the two of them, but there wasn't actually that. So it just seemed, or times it was used as like insults for the other person. So I just wish it was like, yes, we're bisexual, and not like we're both skirting around this thing, but we're too afraid to say, sort of thing. Like I just wish there was acknowledgement and that it was like completely normal. And like if Chip had been like, you guys have a really weird relationship, like why don't you just distance yourself from Jennifer a little bit, to Needy. And Needy was like, well, I love her just as much as I love you, and that's completely fine because my love for a woman is natural. That would have been like a very like, I guess like pious kind of moment. But at the same time, like I didn't want there to be any like, are they bisexual? Is there something there between them? Can it just be like, yeah, there is?
I mean, there could be for sure. I'm not sure if a high school girl necessarily has that perspective yet.
Right.
Some might, but others might not. And it might not be that they are lesbian. They could be bisexual for sure. Mm-hmm. Like Jennifer blatantly says it at the end.
Yeah, that I go both ways.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't sure. Is she saying that, or is she just saying like, I eat men and women? Not like.
Well, I think I think her character is based off of what's it called? Not a vampire.
Succubus?
Succubus, exactly. And so succubus, I think, would be something that would suck men's energy. And so by her saying she goes both ways, it's that she's attracted to both. Mm-hmm. To me, that was blatant. That it was very much that she was a lesbian or she was bisexual, because she was all about everything.
Right.
Needy, I think, was more of a question.
Yeah.
I think it would be something that she would explore. Maybe she would decide later on in her life.
Yeah. More of a question, definitely. And there's one line where I'm like, ooh, I want to know how this is going to be delivered on screen. And it's right before Needy has sex with Chip, and he's putting on this condom that's like ribbed for her pleasure. And Needy's like, oh, great. I'm so excited for this. I was like, are you being sarcastic right now? Is this because you're like, not, like you don't want to fuck this man, or like what? Like I'm so curious, and I was very surprised that there wasn't, just direction and parentheticals for the actor, because it could go so many different ways. I just want to know what the writer's intention is there.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
I was really confused for a bit about whether Jennifer was actually a virgin or not. Cause like at the beginning, it seemed pretty obvious. She was talking a lot of smack about how she gets with all the guys and everything. And then when she goes to hit on Rock Guy, she kind of comes across as really meek. And I didn't know if that was an act or if it was just genuinely like she seemed shy.
Right.
Yeah.
But then eventually you figured it out.
Well, eventually they make it very clear for sure. Yeah. But for a while I was a little confused. I was wondering why the ritual worked or didn't work and what happened. So I'm glad they explained everything.
Mm-hmm. Before they said what had happened, before Needy said what had happened, that the ritual had gone wrong, before we got the flashback kind of thing, did you think that she was a sacrifice, and did you think it was a Satan thing?
I was on to that right away, for sure. I wasn't sure what was wrong with her. Like, I was confused about whether it was actually Jennifer still, or if she was a monster possessing Jennifer.
Right.
It eventually became clear that it was Jennifer. She was possessed, or maybe she was just corrupted in some way by this power. Maybe she became a succubus, but she was still Jennifer.
Yeah. So
she still had the connections to Needy, and she's still she's normal Jennifer until she gets hungry, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt pretty proud of myself. I was like, oh, these guys want to be famous, and so they're right. Yeah. Before they actually blatantly said that they were. Also, as popular as the lead guy from Maroon 5 is pretty funny. Also pretty funny that they didn't name him. Yeah. I get maybe they couldn't. Oh, they could.
Yeah. You can reference the band. You can say Adam Levine, but I guess not.
Maybe it was a joke though. Like maybe that was the joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That they just don't know his name. They just know that
Yeah.
he's big. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I really enjoyed, like, because they peppered in so many references to religious imagery too. And I thought that she gave you enough clues, but didn't overtly say it too early, which I really, really enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
There was one line where I had to stop for a minute and be like, is this the smartest thing anyone's ever said?
Okay.
Because it's one of those high epiphanies that you're like, whoa. And it's when Jennifer says, PMS isn't real, Needy. It was invented by the boy run media to make us seem crazy.
Oh.
And I like literally sat there and was like, wait, is it real? I was like, no, I know what I feel, and I know that things change. It's real. It's real. It's real. I had to like convince myself that.
Okay, so high is it? Yeah. Okay.
As in, yeah, because when you're high, you say something and it sounds like the most like prolific thing you've ever heard, and everyone's like, oh my god, write it down, because when you're not high enough, you're not going to remember this genius, and you have the answers to solve the world. This just seemed like one of those answers where I was like, oh shit, I got to tell my friends, we got to stop acting crazy because it's not real.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fully real, but I thought it was a really funny line too.
It was still a great line.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So at one point they do a flashback and they go to the sandbox scene. And I think they used the sandbox scene to explain why they have a psychic connection. I think they shared blood at that time. And I'm just like, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. I'm great. I'm glad that you did that, because I don't understand why they had the psychic connection. But now that you did that one short scene, it was enough. I'm not joking. I was like, yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. I believe in it.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's such like a just quick show moment too. She could have in voiceover been like, when we were young, Jennifer cut herself and then we were bonded by blood. That would be the bad first draft version, which I'm sure Diablo Cody never wrote because she's amazing.
Oh, man. I do like that despite being so famous, Soft Shoulder, the dumbest name ever, too. Pretty much spend their entire time only playing in this one little town.
Yep.
Even though they get big, and then they're just always doing benefits back in this town that a bunch of murders happen in where they were at the beginning.
I love the scene too where the teacher announces that 3% of their profits from the song are gonna go, and Needy's like, wait, so they're keeping 97%? That doesn't make any sense. And that girl's like, shut up, Needy.
Yeah.
Girl just defends the band. It gets so mad. It is great. So their supernatural presence is felt worldwide then, you think? That everyone is kind of hit by this love for this band?
Yeah, they never talked about it blatantly. What I always felt was that whenever the song played, it was like hypnotizing people.
Yeah.
But that might not have been the case. It might have just been like, yeah, they made the deal with the devil, and so it affects everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so they'll instantly love this band, like Maroon 5.
Like Maroon 5 is, and their music is hypnotizing?
Yes, so yeah.
Nobody actually likes it. We're all just like, hilarious.
I thought that was the implication
that is
Maroon
the
5
implication.
made the deal with the devil. Yeah.
I did not put that together. That's hilarious commentary on Maroon 5's music. That went over my head completely. Whatever. I'm dumb. That's great. That's great. Yes, Diablo Cody. That's great.
Yeah, totally.
There are some lines I'd just love to highlight that I feel like if people aren't going to read the script, they need to know about it. Right near the opening, it's like page 7, Needy is going to kill Jennifer, the possessed, or not possessed Jennifer, but the now satanic Jennifer, I guess. And she brings box cutters. And she's like, know what this is for? Cutting boxes.
Yeah.
Swipes at Jennifer's crotch. And I was dying.
Yeah, that was great.
MoveOn.org, I thought was also great.
Yeah.
You give me such a wetty. Like, what? Stuff I don't get, like slow down tardy slip, you sound like a sped. Great. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
That one should probably not get away with.
What do you mean?
When I hear sped, I think special ed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that would necessarily be in the script later on.
Right. Yeah. This is regarding Amit from India. Do you think he's circumcised? I always wanted to try sea cucumber. I was like, what?
Yeah. Anytime that there was Needy and Jennifer talking about other people, it was pretty fun.
Yeah, they had a
Yeah.
great banter.
Yeah. Great banter, you're right.
There was a part that I thought referenced sirens. So
Hmm.
Jennifer's head like breaks the surface of the water. She's in a lake and she comes out, and then she starts leaving the water, and then a line later it's like a police siren is heard moving by, and I was like, is that just a coincidence that these two things are happening at the same time? Are you referencing that she's also kind of a siren as well?
Maybe.
'Cause she does kind of.
Bring people, lure them to their destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
How does she convince Chip to cheat on Needy?
I didn't really like the character of Chip. I don't think it was necessarily fair to his character. Even early in the show, even early in the movie, they had the scene where Jennifer's breasts are like partially exposed and he's just staring at her right in front of Needy. I just thought, like, are we not supposed to like this guy, or are we just supposed to be like, yeah, every guy does this?
Yeah.
I don't know what was trying to be said. So Chip just seemed like he wasn't necessarily as likable as he could have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if teenage boys can be faulted for looking at breasts, but
No, I don't think so.
and also Needy references, she's like, I can't have my tits out because that's Jennifer's thing and she'll be so mad, so I have to show my belly instead.
Yeah.
Which gives Jennifer a little bit of a nice character too, because she's definitely insecure despite all of her sexual prowess.
Yeah, who calls her a 7?
Oh yeah.
Was it Nikolai?
I think so.
Yeah, he called her a 7 back in the flashback, right?
Yeah, when they're doing the sacrifice. So, what are you most excited to see come to life on screen?
I guess the thing I'm most excited to see would probably be the transformations of Jennifer, where she's kind of like half monstrous, half human still. I'd like to see how they do that. And then just the banter between Needy and Jennifer. Whenever that happens, I'll be excited.
I would agree. I'm excited to see this bile that comes out that has like little spines in it.
Right.
That's such an interesting detail. I've never seen anything like that. This vomit that's like prickly. Cool. I want to know. I want to know what that looks like and how it kind of seems to like move on its own. I think that's very interesting. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to see Jennifer fuck people up. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there was one thing just with how it ended. I didn't love the ending. I did love the script all the way through, but until this last scene, I don't like the exchange with the truck driver. I don't like that Needy has to pay this guy in ass because she has like no money and no grass. I just thought she was like following Jennifer's footsteps completely, and we already know that that's like a bad thing, so why are you doing the same bad thing that she was just doing, kind of thing. And I just would have almost rathered the story start in the car, start from that scene, and then go back to seeing Jennifer killed and not knowing that Jennifer was killed from the very beginning of the movie. Yeah. I don't know. I think just the ordering of it. Like, I don't know why we know from the top that Jennifer dies.
I liked that, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and I didn't enjoy that the guy demanded ass from Needy, but it just fit with what has happened to her. I found like she's changed as a person. She's become darker as a result of this, and we know that she got some of her powers from Jennifer, as well as no doubt some of the personality from Jennifer. Maybe she's slightly possessed herself at this point. So maybe she's more sexual as a result of that.
Yeah.
So I think it was very much in line with what happened to her personally.
But also that she, agrees to it, and then she gets into the car on the driver's side, is what it says in the script. Does that mean that she gets into the car and sits on his lap, and then they drive off together?
Oh, maybe. I guess we'll see how it goes in the film.
Yeah.
But I imagine that she'll probably go into the passenger seat.
Yeah, like Needy gratefully hurries into the driver's seat.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. Maybe he moves over and she does the driving?
I don't think so. But maybe he's outside of the car at the time and he lets her in first, kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that scene completely, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually figured that she would probably kill him.
Yeah, I assumed so too. Before her payment was made, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I don't know though. I just don't know that she seems to be the person that's going to kill for no reason, just when somebody's in her way. Like, she has a vendetta for this one specific band, but not for like anyone who gets in her way. I don't know.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of questions that are left open at the end. What are the extent of her powers now that she's been bitten by Jennifer? Does she need to devour men to sustain herself the way Jennifer did? I don't know. I don't know
I
if
don't.
she's becoming a succubus completely or if she just has like a little bit of that power now because she can fly.
Yeah, well, she's been in the mental hospital for 2 months. And so she probably hasn't had to eat anybody during that time.
Right.
She's pretty happy with Pop-Tart.
Yeah, Pop-Tarts, yeah, it's got all the protein you need.
You liked that they showed Jennifer's death at the beginning. Is there a reason why you like that? Is it just because it's unconventional and normally you like build to the climax or conclusion instead of showing you at the beginning and then telling us how we got there?
I thought it was an exciting opening.
Okay.
I thought I knew that it was going to end in Jennifer's death anyway.
Okay.
I think you could pretty much guess that pretty quickly going in. And so I was happy that we got that out of the way and we got to see more of what's going on with Jennifer and Needy. I mean, you still had a big fight at the end. That was at the pool with Chip around. Chip helps out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought we got everything that we needed in each beat of the script.
Yeah. In my vision of it, if you didn't know that Jennifer was dead at the very beginning, then there could have been more stakes to Needy's existence the whole time. You could have been like, oh, maybe Jennifer's going to kill her if it had built to that point instead of building past that point.
I think like if you showed me the poster for this movie,
Yeah.
I don't know if it just had Megan Fox on it or if it had Needy as well.
No.
Okay, it doesn't. Okay, well, say there was a poster with Needy and Jennifer on it, and I knew Jennifer gets possessed. I would just assume Jennifer's going to die, Needy's going to survive, and that's going to be the end of the movie.
Okay, so maybe Diablo Code is just trying to acknowledge the intelligence of her viewers and make it just interesting in other ways.
Maybe, yeah, or maybe she just liked the way it was written that way, and she went with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I wrote the script, I wouldn't do it that way, okay?
That's fine. I don't think either way would have been bad. I just didn't mind this way.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think I have any problems with the script. The only thing that I had a hiccup on was the timeline. So they're having a 1-month anniversary of this carousel fire. And it's the middle of September. So I just don't get it. Did the school start in the middle of August? And when does everything end? Like, is it December when Jennifer's dead in that case? I just don't know. I don't know. I'm not even sure where this is set. So should it be the middle of winter at this point or the beginning of winter? Mm-hmm. I'm a little confused about timeline, but that was the only hiccup I had with the script.
Yeah, it's late September. So it had to be late August when the fire happened, but they talked about going to the carousel while at school.
Yeah.
Summer school?
Maybe.
Suspension of disbelief?
Jennifer does seem like she probably needs a little extra help.
Okay, yeah, interesting. Maybe that will be changed.
Maybe. One thing I really loved about the script, I'm actually excited to see when it comes on screen, is just Needy right after she's murdered Jennifer, how fucking like pumped she is and how everyone else is just like shocked and horrified that she just killed Jennifer. But Needy's like, everything's going to be okay now. I rule. I think they even talked about like attempted murder and she's like, no, I fucking killed that bitch. Don't say attempted. That sounds so JV. Small time. Teeny weeny. Just like Officer Duda up there. And trust me, I'd know. Oh, Needy goes crazy cool after Chip dies.
And after she's not in the shadow of Jennifer anymore, too.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, well, you asked me what I was excited to see. What are you excited to see?
I'm just excited to see Jennifer being badass and fucking people up. And to see their chemistry, the two of their chemistry. Because I feel like I don't know from the trailers that I saw that there was much chemistry between them.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'm excited to actually see how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Well, unless you have anything else to say, I think we should go watch this movie.
It's going to be totally lesbian.
All right, it's question time. John, I'm asking the questions. What is your favorite musical?
My favorite musical? That is a hard question. You know, I think, are we only talking about film musicals? Are we saying...
Yes, we are.
Okay. Only film musicals. Most musicals I've only seen a film were Disney related. I am going to give it to Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay. Yeah. I've never seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay.
It's It's not going to blow your mind or anything, but it's good. I saw that in film first, and I saw it on stage as well. And they have two different endings because there's an original ending. Okay, I don't even want to spoil it. So yeah, there's an original ending, and then they used a different ending in the film. Audiences didn't like the theater ending.
Okay.
So yeah, but it works both ways. Seeing it in the film was great. It has Rick Moranis in it. Ooh, who plays Aubrey? Audrey. I forget her name, but she's been in a lot of things. She was in. Do you remember? Oh, now I can't remember that TV show. Pushing Daisies. Do you remember Pushing Daisies?
Yes.
Did you watch Pushing Daisies regularly?
I can see the faces of the two main people, but that's it.
Okay, there was the main girl. She had two aunts that she lived with, and one of the aunts was a character in the film. She was like the main character in the film. Anyway, so I would definitely say that, and seeing it in person in the theater is like 100 times better. I'd say like as much as you might enjoy musicals in film, always go see a musical in the theater. The same way that you've recently said that you're missing the fact that you can't go to a theater and you want that group experience. It just going to see a live version of a musical, the best way to see anything. See a musical at least.
Okay. Very cool. I'm gonna go watch it.
Fantastic.
Okay, we're back. We've just watched Jennifer's Body, and now I'm super excited to talk about it. John, what are your initial thoughts about the movie?
Okay, initial thoughts. I don't think I have ever been more disappointed after watching a movie. Just the entire time I was watching it, I was like, what are you doing? This script was so good. Why are you ruining this script? And
wow.
And then they just kept doing it, and they kept ruining it, and they kept just making everything so bland, boring, and bad. And then I'm just like, it was probably one of the best scripts I've ever read, and the film just turned out so horrible.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel. That's wild. Okay. I can't wait to dive into why it was so shitty and bland. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I have a few like things where I'm like, this could have been different, but in general, that was so much fun. It was great.
Really?
Yeah.
I found like just the reading of the lines, it's like, you guys just suck at this.
Oh, their performances by the actors were just not convincing.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with either of them. I think it was more the directing, like they just didn't have good direction.
Okay, so it was directed by Karen Kusama, and I was very excited that it was directed by a woman.
It would be a weird choice to have it be directed by a man.
Oh, like every other movie?
Well, like it's written by a woman, and it's got like the lesbian undertones, overtones, however you want to say it. It's about two women, their sisterhood and whatnot. Like, yeah, I get what you're saying, but it would be so weird if it was directed by a man. It'd just be weird.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another movie where it was like all about women that was directed by a man? I'm sure there was.
I mean, every movie before like maybe 4 years ago or something. Like literally most movies have been directed by men. So it's probably safe to say that many movies about women, like I'm sure Bring It On, that's mostly about women. I'm sure that's directed by a man. And maybe, I don't know, what's another like female heavy movie? Girl Interrupted, probably directed by a man.
I totally get what you're saying. Like, just it would be so weird to me if it was directed by a man, but I wouldn't have expected it.
Okay, well, you didn't enjoy it. Let's dive deeper into what specific aspects of it you did not enjoy. You said it was bland, and the script was one of the best scripts you had possibly ever read. And so, where did the movie fall flat?
Okay, just right off the bat, I found the Insane Asylum very, like, that's where the word bland comes in right away. Just no character. I think that's the big issue. I found there was so much character in the actual script that just did not get conveyed to the film. It was colorful in the script. I'm just using metaphor right now, but it was really colorful in the script. And it's like they took all the color, it was just like dark, boring colors in the film.
I would agree. Like, there could have been stranger characters kind of around her in the insane asylum. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Stranger characters, like less character. I thought they were like it was a very crowded insane asylum when she went for lunch. I thought it
yeah,
was
it did
just
seem more like
busy.
just like a women's prison and less an
Hmm.
insane asylum, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, specifically in that scene in the script, it said that the orderly who's speaking to Needy about what she's eating is going to be roundhouse kicked to the face away. But the
Hmm.
kick was just like she just like kicks her forward and then she flies across the room, obviously to show that she has like superhuman strength now too, to
Hmm.
tease a little bit about that. But I was like so excited for this roundhouse kick, and then it just to have it be like a simple kick forward, I was like, boo, get a stunt coordinator, make that work.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it worked.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
would have had so much more flair.
Okay, yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so if we want to just get into the nitty gritty of what I didn't like, the first appearance of when Jennifer's a demon in the kitchen with Needy,
Hmm.
it just came across as weird. Like, especially when she goes and eats the chicken off the floor. Like,
Oh
she
yeah.
throws the chicken on the floor and she starts eating it. Like, in the script, it seemed so there was such weight behind like that moment where it was very scary for Needy. In the film, it just came off like she's just being weird. She's eating chicken off the floor, and then she pukes randomly. It felt like it could be scary in the script. In the film, it just seemed weird.
Yeah. I mean, the visual effects for me in that part were so fucking cool, and I know I was very
Mm,
excited to see that happen. So seeing it
nice.
like that was very satisfying. I was like, yes, Spiny Bonnet, like, and your face looks fucked. Like, that's
uh,
cool. But I think like there's a reason why she eats the chicken and throws it up, because she can only eat humans, and so when she eats something that's not a human, she's not able to digest it. But yeah, I can see how the level of fear in Needy was maybe a little bit flat. And there's no like calling of the cops or anything like that, or like maybe I need to take you to the hospital or like anything kind of thing. It's just like, you're here, I'm gonna stand here while you do your thing, and then you're gonna go and I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah, and Jennifer rarely looks demonic. I found in the film as well.
Hmm.
I was looking forward to the scene where she kind of slams into Needy's car at one point,
Yes.
and she
She jumps
does
on the
that.
hood.
Yeah, she jumps on the hood exactly. She does that in the film. I think she just jumps like she smashes the front mirror or the
Yeah.
front window. Yeah, but in the script they made it seem like she had like long limbs and she was like I in my mind I pictured not spidery but kind of like long limbs like a spider, and she was kind of scary in a way that that would have been cool. That just wasn't
Yeah.
in the film. And then just there were some lines as well that were missing, like lines that would just paint the character that Jennifer is. Like just after when the fires happened and Jennifer comments about how it's just pathetic that the football player is crying over his best friend dying. I don't think she ever comments about that. She's later on, she's just talking to the guy and asking him about it, like when she's trying to manipulate him so that she can get him into the forest.
Right.
So it's just things were missing I found in the film.
Yeah, I wonder if part of that's like a budgetary thing, like maybe the budget for the film wasn't big enough and they weren't able to do all the CGI, or if it was just a choice.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to know. I know there's a little thing online about it saying that they decided to take a different route and do some of the effects using, I don't even know what the word is, but like practical effects versus CGI effects. Is that it? Is that what it is? Practical versus computer generated? Yeah, they wanted to do some of that, but like, yeah, they should have just gone a little bit further with it. I fully agree with you.
Like you were saying, that was fair if it was budgetary. That's just the way things work.
Yeah. But even like when she is eating the football player and her jaw kind of dislodges a little bit and you see her teeth for the full time, she still looks fucking beautiful.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
now you just have like spiky teeth, but you're still like fucking gorgeous. You're not really that scary. Like,
Yeah.
the scary
Yeah.
part is just that your teeth are able to go from a regular set of teeth to spiky teeth just like that. Like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. And then just after that scene as well, when she just finishes eating him, and then the principal or the teacher, sorry, finds the dead body. In
Yeah.
the script, you had this great scene where she's emerging from the water, or that's how I read it at least. She kind of like emerges from the water head first, and then the rest of her body.
Yeah.
And in the film, it's just her swimming across the lake, and then she gets out at a ladder. And it just seemed less impressive.
It did. I noted that too. I was like, now in the script it seemed like it was needed, but in the movie it didn't seem like it was needed. It was just like, oh, here's an excuse to get Megan Fox to be naked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
is she going into the water because she needs to clean off all the blood from her body? Like, I guess like that's why it was there in the script. But in this, it was just like, well, I've eaten, now I'm just gonna go for a swim.
Yeah. Yeah. For me in the script, like I wasn't even considering why she needed to go for the swim, to be honest. I was considering just like it's cool to have her like emerge from the water, kind of just like this creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like she's this creature, an unstoppable creature in a way that's emerging and just dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
So I just found, for me, there were just so many of those little moments that were missing in the film.
Mm-hmm.
And I can talk about other things that I disliked, but yeah, it would be always like little things like that. And then why did they change the name from soft shoulder to low shoulder? That it didn't bother me, but I was just like, why did they do that?
I was wondering about that too, and I looked it up, and like soft shoulder is a thing. Is like an actual street sign. That is a warning sign that happens when there's like an unpaved piece of road next to like a driving road. So that's what that is. That's a soft shoulder. But low shoulder isn't anything.
So soft shoulder actually had meaning too. That's funny.
Yes.
So the change is just bad.
Yeah. Maybe they just couldn't give any reason as to why this band would name themselves after a street sign. But then that doesn't make sense either, because at the end of the movie, they show you the sign that says low shoulder.
They do?
Made up. Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
So it's right after Needy gets into the car with the man and drives off to go kill the band. There's like just this yellow warning sign on the side that says low shoulder.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
Weird. Okay. So I've kind of shit on the movie for a bit, so
yeah.
if you want to like take the other side, we can go in the other direction. I can say good things too, but you should probably go first.
I mean, I mentioned the effects of Jennifer like being creepy. I really enjoyed it. I definitely thought it could have gone deeper, but like I was really excited when she went all dark. That was a lot of fun. I love the cameos.
Oh.
Adam Brody, Chris Pratt, J.K. Simmons, like these characters that I feel like at the time were probably bigger than these roles still, but yeah, just having them show up was a lot of fun. We got J.K. Simmons with like a wig on. You never see that. Although I do have a question about his character. Why did he have one arm? I don't think that added anything to the story or to his character. I get that representation of disabled people in movies needs to be stronger. We need these characters out there, and you don't always need a reason. Just like me as a queer person, I don't always need a reason as to why a character is queer. I just thought it was a strange, like, I'm like, when is this going to come into use? Like, is he going to help save the day? And we're going to see that he's like just as able as anybody else. But no, it was never, he just had one arm.
He just had one arm. Yeah, for sure. I thought it was more just to add character to the entire world.
Right, yeah.
It didn't get used or featured in any way. No, it's true. But he didn't really have a big part either, eh?
He didn't have a big part. Roman in the script has a bigger part than he did in the movie, I thought.
Yes. Well, they switched around the movie. I'm wondering if you probably like that.
I loved it because we talked about it before, and I was like, this makes so much more sense. Because at the beginning in the script, they show you the murder first, so you know Jennifer's dead the whole time. But in the movie, they don't do that. They wait until the end. And in the script, at the end, Needy gets arrested by Roman. But you don't see that in the movie.
No, you don't get to see that.
Conversation in the car, right? That happened. And even I think Roman's character references how good the Low Shoulder song is.
At the time, it was Soft Shoulder.
Yeah. So his role was cut down a little bit. I wanted him to come back. When I saw him at the beginning, and when he came on screen, I laughed and I was like, can't wait to see what happens. And then nothing happened.
Yeah, I was disappointed about that too, but I was disappointed about losing the thing. But we're not on the negatives, so we can leave that out by saying that. But one thing I did like was, I don't know who played him, but the character, the goth character of Colin, I was like, I liked your character. I liked what you brought to it. So
Kyle Gallner is his name, and you might recognize him from Smallville.
Right. What did he play in Smallville?
Bart Allen. Impulse. It says Bart Allen / Impulse.
Okay, yeah. So that would have been a version of the Flash in that case.
Also, in Veronica Mars, he was Cassidy / Beaver Casablancas. So he was Dick Casablancas' brother.
Ooh, I don't remember who that is.
Okay. Veronica's boyfriend's stupid best friend.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I listened to him on a Dax Shepard podcast.
You did, and he's great. He's so wholesome
Right.
and not at all like his character.
Yeah, for sure. And he's like been with his girlfriend / wife forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did come across as cool.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay, so Kyle, right?
Yes.
I just thought he played Colin really well. I thought he displayed a range of emotions, like what he would think, like what would you think his emotions would be as him trying to portray a cool goth while at the same time being vulnerable?
Yeah. Brought a lot of depth to his character.
Mm-hmm. So he was a great victim.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a theory about everything being Needy's fault. I don't know if you noticed this, but
blame the blonde girl.
But for real though, so at the beginning, it's Needy who tells Nikolai, the lead singer of Soft Shoulder or Low Shoulder, that Jennifer is a virgin. She's the one who like says that, and he's like, "Aha, I knew it." So she's the reason that he goes after Jennifer. And then Jennifer's first victim is Ahmet from India, and Needy points Ahmet out at the show. Jennifer didn't notice him before Needy was like, Ahmet's here.
Mm-hmm.
And then Needy's interested in Colin, and Jennifer like bugs her about it. And she's like, no, we're just friends. He's a really cool guy. And then it's after that Jennifer becomes interested in. And then also Chip, Needy's boyfriend, is her next victim. It's like you're the reason that she became a demon, and you're also like how she chooses her victims.
I think
the only connection I couldn't make was the football player.
In the script, she talks about they both talk about the football player. But at the same time, I think you're really stretching for this one.
You think so?
Oh yeah, totally.
I don't.
Totally. Well, okay, looking at Nikolai.
Yeah.
He already wanted to take Jennifer as victim, and he was only having a hard time convincing his friend, someone who he seems to have control over anyway. So
yes.
I think Needy was just trying to look out for her friend, and we can't really blame Needy. Needy was trying to help Jennifer get away from Nikolai, and Jennifer went with Nikolai anyway. That's on Jennifer. Ahmet, that was just a random encounter. Like, Jennifer was walking along, there was Ahmet, and she's like, I can eat this guy. I agree with Colin, at least in the film. In the script, I don't think it went the same way. In the script, he asks Jennifer out, or like comes in with a soft pitch, and she goes, what's your pitch? And he gives his pitch, and then she agrees to it right away. Mm-hmm. In the film, she says no. Then Needy's like, oh, he's a good guy, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when she changes her mind. And so I agree with that. And I was wondering why they made that change in the film. And then with Chip, we can't blame Needy. She's dating a guy. It would have been any guy, right? So it can't be Needy's fault, right? Jennifer would have gone after any guy that Needy was dating.
Right. Okay, it was all Needy's fault then, right?
No! In no way was it Needy's fault.
Fine.
Oh, whatever, man. You can blame anyone you want.
Okay, you said a lot of things that you didn't like, and I didn't really add too much to it. There are some things that I would like to bring up. One of the things is that when the fire happens in the bar at the very beginning, Needy notices it happening, and she watches it happen for so long. She watches the fire spread before like anything happens. Why aren't you being like, fire, everyone get out? It was such a like delayed reaction, and I don't know why.
I agree.
Also, they do the cliche, like, ugly girl thing with Needy. She has a line in it. People find it hard to believe a babe like Jennifer would associate with a dork like me. And I was like, okay. You're like the two most beautiful women in the school. Nobody's wondering why you're friends. And I get that you have glasses, and so, like, you're the dork, but no. You always look gorgeous, too. It's just that you wear glasses and a sweatshirt.
I mean, that's classic Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
Like, everyone is gorgeous, and you're trying to pretend like you're not. Do you remember back in the? I think the last time it happened was probably the 80s. Back in the 80s, when there were actually people of like all different kinds who were just like great actors, and they would be in movies and on television shows.
I barely remember that. I feel like maybe John Hughes movies were pretty representative. But not diverse. Maybe a little
What?
bit. No, they weren't.
Breakfast Club had 5 white people. What are you talking about?
And then Pretty in Pink. I was like, was it diverse? No, they have the foreign exchange student who's Asian, but he's a caricature of an Asian person.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about diversity, we had Ahmet from India, and then what else did Jennifer's Body have?
Ooh, that's it.
So Ahmet from India, who doesn't have a line, and that's all the representation.
And the orderly, like the dietitian at the.
Yep.
Yeah, she was African American, but she has like 2 lines and then gets killed right away.
Does she get killed? No, she just gets kicked.
Oh yeah. Sorry, she gets kicked and breaks her nose, right, or something.
Yeah. Far cry from death.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Slow your roll back.
I like how you mentioned succubus before, and then they showed succubus on screen when Needy was researching demons.
Oh, nice. I'm not sure if they actually said succubus in the script, maybe, and that's why I mentioned it.
I don't think they did.
It was definitely, it definitely had succubus vibes, so I'm glad about that too. It's awesome. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some changes? Did you notice? I mean, we touched on them a little bit with the timeline of the movie being different and not showing the Jennifer's murder at the beginning and adding that to the ending. There were a couple more changes. And also low shoulder, soft shoulder. What the fuck? Another one I noticed was that in the movie, Needy breaks up with Chip before the prom. But in the script, they don't break up.
Mm-hmm. In the movie, I found that the Chip-Needy relationship was stronger than in the script.
Okay.
Mainly because in the script, Diablo writes Chip as like the typical teen kid. He sees some boobs and he's going to stare at the boobs, right? In the movie, I found that like he didn't show any interest toward Jennifer until Jennifer succubuses him. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was loyal. That was nice.
It was nice, yeah, for sure. I kind of liked him better in the script, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know, because he kind of like waffles a bit. He doesn't trust Needy as much as he should in either situation.
Okay.
It's hard to trust somebody when they're talking about succubuses, though, especially when that's never happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't know how to take his representation in the film, I think.
I thought he was cute. I think that actor is really cute. I think I've seen him in like Scott Pilgrim before, and he was a lot of fun in that too. Yeah. But yeah, there were some of his lines that I thought were out of character for what we were seeing on screen. Yes, because he was so loyal to Needy. There's one line where she's like getting changed before going to the concert, and he says like, "Those pants are so low, I can almost see your front butt." And I was like, would you ever say that to your girlfriend? Like, when you say front butt, are you saying that she's so fat that she has a gunt, or which is a disgusting word, or are you saying
gunt?
Yeah.
I've never heard that word before.
It's a part in my language of what I'm about to say. It's a gut cunt.
Yeah, so. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, so that is a word that is used. Like, is he saying that, or is he calling like her vagina her front butt? Either way, it's just like a weird thing to say to your girlfriend. I was like, you're kind of a dick. Telling her how to dress and also calling her like lady bits her front butt. Like, that's weird.
Yeah. He was really jealous throughout the film too. Anytime Colin came up.
Yeah.
Who's the needy one in that relationship, right? Hey. Hey.
Oh, Kelly. Sounds like he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Oh, good. Nice. I thought we were supposed to be talking about Jennifer's Body. That one was weaker. I just wanted to bring Jennifer into it.
Okay. Why is it called Jennifer's Body? Let's talk about that.
I don't know. It must have been the title that Diablo chose, though, right? Or I guess he could have gone through some different choices over the time, but I just wonder why anyone would have that choice. Like it seems like it's just trying to be sexual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to really have a purpose beyond that.
Yeah. Oh, the title comes from a track off of Courtney Love's album.
There we go.
One of Courtney Love's 1994 album, Live Through This. So Jennifer's Body is a song from that. But the song is not in the movie, and it is not credited.
Okay, well, that's cool.
Courtney Love was very, very mad about it.
Oh, okay. I think you can use the title if you want, right?
Yeah, absolutely. she doesn't have ownership over those two words being beside each other.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I feel like I had another one. The box cutting thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so in the script, I thought it was a hilarious line, and
Mm-hmm.
it's dark, where Needy takes out her box cutter and she's like, you know what this is? A box cutter. And then she slashes her box.
Mm-hmm.
But in the movie, she doesn't go for it. She still says the line, but she doesn't slash her below the waist. And I was like, now your like pun doesn't really.
Yeah, she just goes for like the chest or even her boobs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that entire fight was a little more disappointing on screen than it was in the script.
Yeah. Because at that point, they both have supernatural powers.
No,
So, don't they?
no,
Oh,
you
is
see
she
her
not
get
bit?
bitten in that fight.
Oh, okay. So that was one of my questions. I was like, when does she get bit?
Yeah,
Oh,
they like make a big show of her, like, oh, like a vampire.
wow, I spaced. Okay.
You're just all disappointed about the box cutting thing.
And yeah, Jennifer's not at her full strength during that scene, but still, you would think that she'd be able to like do a little bit more damage than she was doing.
Yeah, she just levitates.
Yeah. Also, in the script and in the movie, they talk about how there's this hole in Devil's Kettle, and that's why it's named this way because, yeah, I guess, I don't know if it looks like a kettle, this hole, but researchers have been throwing stuff down this hole, and they've never been able to figure out where it leads to.
Mm-hmm.
And it's next to this hole that Nikolai kills Jennifer originally using that Bowie knife, and then he throws the Bowie knife down the hole, seemingly to be lost forever. But then, different from the script to the movie, at the end of the movie, Needy's just like walking along the street and she finds the knife, and you see a bunch of other stuff that the researchers have thrown down that hole. So,
I'm gonna challenge you on that.
okay.
She does find the Bowie knife in the script in the same way.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, she does. Not
Oh.
the balls though. You don't see the balls or anything else.
Okay.
It's just the Bowie knife. And so in the script, at least, it comes across as like this has gone into hell. Like he threw it into Devil's Kettle, and that's kind of like a pit to hell almost because you don't know where it leads, and
Right.
he's making a sacrifice. And at the end, it pops back out. It's like the devil is giving this back to her so that she can go kill these guys. That's how I read it, at least. And so I thought it was really cool. Having the balls and everything appear beside the knife made it less cool in the film. Well,
Because
I always
why
had
would the devil give the balls back?
exactly. Maybe he wanted her to like annoy them first. Throw a couple balls at the guys. Yeah. Why would the devil do that? And it makes it seem like that's not the case. Like we're putting a question on whether that's actually a pit into hell or not. I was less interested in it that way. But yeah, one question I had for the Devil's Kettle is why didn't the researchers ever put a camera down in the hole? They're dropping random balls, and I don't know what their plan is. You see them dropping balls at the beginning. You don't know what their plan is. They're just like doing that. If you had a camera that you put in, then maybe you'll be able to see where it goes and you'll be able to record that. But I guess they just hadn't got that far. A camera in like a bubble of some sort. You're already throwing
like
balls.
just like a hamster wheel or something. Like one of those
Exactly.
little things. A hamster globe where they run around the floor.
It's science this, you know? We're scientists.
Yeah. No, just like pink balls. And then another change was that I was so not looking forward to the scene where Needy gets into the car and she has to pay for her ride using gas, grass, or ass. And she's like, oh, all I have is ass, so I guess I'll pay you that way. And it's like really pervy and gross. It wasn't in the movie. She just hitchhikes and the guy's like, yeah, I'll drive you. Great, hop on in. And she just gets a lift.
I agree. Yeah, they made that change and everything. I still found the guy pervy. Even though he didn't ask for anything, I found like, oh, this guy.
Yeah.
I felt like I saw the guy and the way he talked, like child molester. This guy.
Right.
I don't trust this guy, you know?
Right. But I guess she knows that she can fend for herself, so she's not scared, maybe. Like, I can just kick people out of spaces.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't think she had anything to worry about for sure at that point.
Yeah.
But that guy.
Yeah.
Whoever they got to play that guy. Looked kind of like Ed Helms, actually, I think. Not Ed Helms, no, Ed something.
He looks like the Truman Show guy. Like the director in the Truman Show.
Yeah, he does.
Ed Harris.
I think his name's Ed. Yeah.
Ed
Did we have trouble last time he came up? Okay.
Apologies, Ed Harris. You are a great actor. And you are not in Jennifer's body, but your doppelganger.
And your doppelganger is pervy.
Yeah. And then after that, in the script, there's no montage, right? Or is this another thing I got wrong?
No. There was no montage in the script. Okay. Did you like the montage?
I did. A montage of how Low Soft Shoulder is killed.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I very
Yeah, it
much
was
loved
good.
it.
And
I
she's
like,
just walking off with her hoodie.
yeah. I mean, seeing Adam Brody get killed, I don't know why it's fun, but it is fun. Yeah. So I think that was mostly all the changes,
Yeah, I
or if
agree.
not all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like little lines here and there were missing, I think.
Yeah.
They had one line, and I was gonna save this for later, but I can mention it here,
Do
and
it
I
now.
just thought it was funny. It's our library has an occult section. She does a bunch of research on Jennifer, and they show her doing that research, and then her talking to Chip about it. And I
Mhm.
don't think this line was in the script. I just thought it was funny because in every supernatural TV show or movie, there's always a point when they research the monster, and I don't know where they're getting this research, but they always have some kind of clue as to what this monster is and how they can defeat it. And it's
Yeah.
just funny that I think that line almost calls it out a bit. She says, our library has an occult section. It's small, but it's
Yeah.
like, this is
Like
just like,
being
oh,
self-aware kind of thing.
exactly. Like, this
Yeah.
is kind of ridiculous that this is so convenient for you, but we're going to go
Yeah.
along with it. Yeah. So I like that.
There was another part that they did that when Needy is talking to Chip, I think it is, about how Jennifer changes when she's super hungry. She's like, yeah, when she hasn't eaten, she gets ugly. And then she's like, well, ugly for her. And I was like, yeah, because you can't make her ugly.
Yeah, exactly. I remember in the script there, like she has split ends, she's looking
Yeah.
down and everything. You see her at the beginning of the movie and at the end when she gets killed, and she just looks like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
She doesn't look down. Like maybe they put some makeup on her to look almost pasty, but not really. I kept showing that aerobics clip. It's not for touching or something. I don't know what that was about.
I don't know what you're talking about. What?
There's an aerobics clip she's watching when she's lying in bed. Jennifer is.
Oh.
And it's the guy doing the aerobics, and he has like there's the other girl with him. I don't know if she's interviewing him or she's just like the other person. And he like makes a joke about how it's not like touching time. You're not allowed to touch his muscles or something. And it was weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe that was like an in joke where they were just like, let's just make like a ridiculous video.
I think
Nobody's going to pay attention to it.
yeah. Well, I paid attention.
Good. Oh, I have one more question though, actually, just about character. Why doesn't Needy know who Phil Collins is?
I don't think you have to know who Phil Collins is.
I think everyone knows who Phil Collins is, especially somebody who's like book smart. And I know music is like pop culture, so maybe she's not pop culture smart, but like she goes to see bands.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can be interested in music in any capacity and not know who Phil Collins is.
I mean, she only goes to see Soft Shoulder because Jennifer drags her there.
Yeah, but assuming that's not the first time that she's dragged her to a concert, though.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah. I don't know, it's just weird. I was like, what? It doesn't add anything to her character for me, and I wasn't sure what I was supposed to get. Okay, you don't know anything about pop culture to not know about somebody who's like super famous in music. You're trying to convince me that she's like way more nerdy, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. All you do is read. But that's clearly not all you do because you also watch TV and like go to concerts. I don't know. Yeah.
She's the quirky girl, though.
Yeah.
She's not cool. She doesn't know who Phil Collins is.
Yeah.
What was the line? He's seminal?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of seminal, but whatever.
Yeah. You brought up the timeline and how they were going to play it. It was weird because they were talking about how a month later it was September, so they would have been going to school in August, which doesn't make sense. But in the movie, they didn't talk about what time of year it was ever.
Never. Yeah. So that worked out.
Yeah. I guess they were like, well, this doesn't make sense. We'll just not say when it is.
Yeah. I think that's generally a better idea. They didn't talk. I don't know if they mentioned, or I don't remember what the name of the dance was. It was prom, wasn't it? Actually, was it prom?
I think.
It would make sense if it was prom. It would just make sense if it happened at the end of the year regardless. That just feels like the ending of the movie should happen with prom and like the ending of this chapter of her life and her friendship with this person.
Mm-hmm.
That all makes sense to me, but it's possible that didn't.
Mm-hmm. Also, if Needy hadn't broken up with Chip, she would have probably been with him, and
it's not Needy's fault.
And Chip wouldn't have been killed because Needy would have been there.
No. I'm not buying it. Needy is a good person who tried to do the right thing the entire time, and everyone else was being an asshole around her, and it's not Needy's fault.
I just pulled up like a fun facts about the movie.
And does it say was it all Needy's fault?
It does. Not even Needies. They just say it was Amanda Seyfried. She was like a super diva, and she came on and she was just like, you know what? I'm rewriting the script, and this is why the movie is going to be worse than the script.
Really?
No.
Okay. Because she doesn't seem like she would be that way. But...
No, not at all. Just one of the things that I fully do not like is that Megan Fox had to go through a big transformation apparently for this role, and she dropped down to 97 pounds.
What was she at before?
I don't know, but she dropped down to 97 pounds, and then she
really skinny.
That's so skinny. And then she put back on the weight that she lost purposely for Transformers, the second one, Revenge of the Fallen. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Why did they add the kissing scene?
I don't know why they added the kissing scene back. Me personally, I don't think it added anything to the film or to their relationship, but I found their relationship was confusing, probably a lot because we read the script first and then we watched the film, so we had like two different versions of who these people were. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like, honestly, the entire time, I couldn't tell what was going on with them, so at least in the film. In the script, I thought it was very clear. When the film, I was like, I don't understand why this scene's here. I don't know the nature of their relationship at this point. Is this a thing that they're both into? Like Amanda's going for it, so this is great, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Like, I get that energy between them was there the whole time, and there were, like, subtleties to it. And, like, sure, in friendships, you know, girls can get really close in high school. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, it was just, I liked that it was, like, I wanted them to be queer or not. And I think in this, it made it even more confusing.
Right. I mean, that would be a confusing time, so it'd be them figuring it out to an extent. But at the end, we don't know, right?
Yeah.
I think we are clear about Jennifer because she still has that line, I go both ways.
Right.
But Needy, like, no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just have a line here from Diablo Cody talking about it. It was intended to be something profound and meaningful to me and the director. There's a physical energy between the girls, which is kind of authentic because I know when I was a teenage girl, the friendships that I had with other girls were almost romantic. They were so intense. I wanted to capture that heightened feeling you get as an adolescent that you don't really feel as a grown-up.
Okay, that's great. I don't feel it came across necessarily in the film. Yeah.
Yeah. Pure intentions, but failure to like.
Yeah, because they never kissed in the script, right? There was never. No. Okay.
There were two references to like that sort of thing, and it was when, like you already said, I go both ways, and then also she says we can play boyfriend girlfriend like we used to. Yeah. Which is still in the movie too, but that's after the kiss.
Is it after the kiss? Okay.
Yeah, it's right before she jumps out the window.
Okay. Yeah, which I thought was clear enough. Mm-hmm. It's like they're trying to hammer it home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just. If we want to touch on what we were most looking forward to, I think I already talked about mine. I said earlier that I really wanted to see Jennifer kick ass, and then I wanted to see how her demonic side came out, and it was very satisfying, but we also did say it could have gone further. What were you excited to see happen?
Yeah, I think I was pretty much the same though. But I was disappointed in that case because I wanted more demonic.
Right.
Than they gave us, and I wanted the film to be quirkier in general. I thought it had a lot of character on the script, and that was what I was most excited for, and it just didn't have that character in the film for me.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about the ribbed for her pleasure stuff, which was like super awkward in the script, and I was saying how I wanted to know how the delivery was going to go because I didn't understand if it was going to be sarcastic or not, Needy's reaction to that line. So how do you feel it came across?
I thought it was like a Onito kind of moment. I don't think it was super sarcastic.
Right.
I thought it was genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the script, I thought that all of that interaction with Chip when they were having sex led to more ambiguity about Needy's sexuality. But in the movie, she seemed to be like super on board.
Yeah, you're right. Just following up from that, I did like how in that sex scene, she actually has visions of the dead people and they're like watching her have sex. And so that felt like more of a connection. Like it felt more of a reason for her to freak out during them actually having sex and wanting to run away and find Jennifer and like realizing that something's going on with Jennifer than it did in the script. In the script, I think she maybe saw flashes of Jennifer and Colin or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it came. Yeah, I liked the like ghost people watching her have sex. It was creepier and it was better.
Yeah. Okay, well, I feel like it's time to make our verdicts then.
I think we did.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's a secret to anyone. John, which do you think is better?
I'm not even going to be funny about it. The script was better.
I agree. The script was better.
Oh, okay, cool.
I love the movie. I do, and I will watch it again. It will go on my shelf. I'm going to get a hard copy. Yeah, for sure. I really liked it, despite the DVD cover being so stupid. I am going to have a copy of this. But yeah, the script, Diablo Cody's writing is just so amazing and so visual and so quirky, and I love what images come to mind, and I think she paints it beautifully. Almost to a point where there's not much you need to do. Maybe that was part of it. Maybe directors tried to bring something to it that actually stifled what was already there.
Well, the thing is, just from you mentioning that quote from Diablo Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, her saying that she wanted something in the film, that kissing scene, it makes me feel like she was more of a part of the production and direction of the film than some other writers are. And so I wonder if some of these changes were her own choice as well.
Yeah, interesting. Guess we won't know.
No, we won't.
Diablo, if you want to call us and let us know, I'd love to talk about it.
I feel like that would be a long conversation.
Okay, John, what are we going to be doing next week?
Next week, we're going to pivot again, okay? We like to pivot every week, trying to do something that's a little different from the week before. I think this one's going a little bit more campy than anything that we've done so far. We're going to do a musical.
Exciting.
And it might be a little known musical, at least it wasn't known to me. Anyone who is a fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show, there is a kind of sequel to that, written and directed by the same person, Richard
O'Brien.
Richard O'Brien, thank you, Beck. So he made the music for it as well. It's called Shock Treatment.
Shock Treatment.
Yeah.
I am not a fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Maybe you'll be a super fan of this one.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be like, this is the movie I wanted. It all makes sense.
Awesome.
Cool.